Anyway, today we're going to be making a great dish. It's kind of a grown-up version of mac and cheese. You know, none of the blue box. It's going to have a little bit of seafood, some veggies in it, and let me show you our ingredients to start. Okay, so first you start with some just regular butter Ritz crackers and just a sleeve of it. Now I noticed that when you're shopping for Ritz crackers or crackers of any sort, there's you know, the fat-free, reduced fat. If you're making mac and cheese, just get the original. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, you need some pasta. Of course, you guys know that I like cool shapes to things that I eat, so I got the cavatappi, which are these little squiggles. Some Parmesan cheese, heavy cream, mozzarella cheese, brie, cheddar cheese, butter, and some any kind of frozen veggies you kind of want to throw in. But I really liked the peas with the pearl onions because it adds a little bit of color to the dish. Okay, so that's the basics, and now we get the seafood. So I have them just over here, hanging out. Just give them a rinse. And come right back over here. So you can take a look. We have the scallops and the shrimp. Right there, yes, they're dripping. Bay scallops, cocktail shrimp, they were pretty cheap. I'm always up for the saving on a bargain. So we're going to put them on a heat right now and get those cooked up. Just a little bit of cooking spray. Alrighty. Now we also have a large pot of water for the pasta, so you can salt the water. Remember, you always salt the water because it's the only time you have to really season the pasta. And we'll let that, ooh, that's already getting hot. Perfect. So we're going to take the seafood, drop them right in. There we go. Little salt and pepper onto the seafood. And let those cook up. Now I have pretty much, you know, a good selection of cheeses. Like I said, we have the brie, the cheddar, mozzarella, Parmesan, all these things. Some like to say, you know, 3 cheese mac and cheese. It can be whatever you have in the fridge mac and cheese. I don't really care. Use singles, whatever. That's what I was planning on using until I went to the grocery store. So, anyway, so just let these cook up. And we will work on the sauce. So what you want to do first is get some butter, margarine if you're trying to be, you know, a little health conscious. Yeah, right. About 1/3 of the stick. And unwrap it. Get my garbage colander. And then just put that on a low heat to get that butter melting. All right. Now also when you start making dinner, preheat your oven to 350. I think 350 is like the universal temperature that you can pretty much cook anything in. So we're going to put it to that. So put it to 350. Let's check on our seafood over here. Again, since I got the cooked cocktail shrimp, we don't have to worry about those at all. So we're just letting the scallops cook up, and because they're bay scallops, they cook up very quickly. And I just want to let you know, I said scallops. That's what they're called. Welcome to New England. That's where they're from. That's what they're called. Not scallops, okay? Sorry if I offended anyone. Sorry if I offended any potential sponsors. You can call them whatever you want. But they're scallops. So let those cook up. And you can see they're already, as soon as they start to get like a little stringiness to them, that's when they're cooked. And make sure you're getting a good quality of them too, because I heard that some places trick you and it's not really scallops, it's like fish that monkfish or something like that they cut out into circles. So now like as I don't know if you watched the paella, but I did the same thing with the frozen seafood. You kind of get, you know, some of the excess water pooling off. So we want to drain that. I can hear our butter melting already. So I'm just going to head over to the sink and just strain them. All right, and let those cook. Now our butter's working over here, just melting. And as the butter starts to melt, you want to cut the cheese. Ha ha. All right, yeah, I realized what I was saying as I said it. Woo! Oh, that was a blooper and a half. Woo-hoo. I'll leave that in because guess what? I'm human, so you get to see that. All right. We're going to slice the cheese, slice it in, throw it in there to melt. This is about half of the package that you get at the store. Depends how much you want in it. All right, so now our scallops and shrimp are looking pretty good, so we'll just take those off the heat. And we'll add our brie into the mixture. Now, some people like this brine, but when you're putting it in there, you don't want it. So just carefully slice it off. Fold it back. Do the same thing to the other side. This is going to give the sauce like a real gourmet taste to it, so that's always good. So just come right over, hack it off, and put it in. And let that melt down in there too. Now, let's put the pasta in. Right down in there. Put a lid on it. All right, now let's get some aggravation out, shall we? Set that off to the side. So just take a whole sleeve of the crackers. If I could open them. If you have a masher or whatever you want to use, just start breaking them up. And this is going to be what goes right down over everything. Okay, so I'm going to switch the flames over here just to get this heated up a little bit quicker. That's the sauce in here. And to this, I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream. Whisk together the cheese, make sure it's getting melted. If it starts to stick to the bottom and you think it's getting a little too thick, just add some regular milk, whatever you have, before you add the heavy cream, because the heavy cream is really going to make it thick too. So, a little bit of milk if you need it. Put our crackers over there. Depending again on your preference of the sauce. Always make a lot of the sauce because we're baking this too, so it's going to get it's going to dry it out a little bit just being in the oven. So don't worry if it's if there's too much sauce. Too much of the cheese sauce never can be too much of a good thing. So just let that cook up a little bit more. So now, if you want to, you can, like I said, as many cheeses as you want. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the shaker cheese, as I call it, which can be any kind. It's brand new. Look at that. Just open it up. A little Parmigiano Reggiano. Whisk it together. You can see it's getting to that nice smooth consistency, no clumps.